My First Curious George, read to you by your dad. George was a good little monkey, and always very curious. Okay, so here's George. He's a monkey. He goes, ooh, ooh, ah, ah, and he's eating a banana, right? He's eating the nana. He enjoyed trying new things. Okay, and there's George the monkey, and he's wearing pajamas. He's wearing his PJs. You like to wear your PJs all around. And then in this one, George is eating his soup. So he's eating his soup, and he's sitting on books. Sitting on his books. Right here, he's got a hat. He likes to play with his friends. The man with the yellow hat. That's the hat right there. That's a pretty big hat, isn't it? Okay, and this one, see the monkey? The monkey goes, ah, ah. And he's got his hat. You say hat. And then there he's running away like you do every night. And then the man is trying to catch him. And he's got his hat on. And then there's a shoe. See the shoe? Sometimes they played on the telephone. There's the phone. You probably don't think that's a phone because you've never seen one of those, but it's a phone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What fun. Okay, the man is talking on the phone. See the phone? And he's sitting in his chair. And then you have the monkey. Ah, ah. Okay, and now the monkey's standing on the chair. And he's on the phone. And he's saying, ah, 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 ah. George was lucky to be a monkey. He could walk on the telephone wires, so he did. There he is. Okay, on this one we have the birds. The birds go tweet, tweet. And then we have George the monkey, and he goes, ah, ah. Down on the street, George spotted a balloon man. He was curious. He reached to help himself, but instead of one balloon, right here we have a balloon, and there's Mickey. And then somewhere in there is George, right there. There's George. He goes, ah, ah, and he's stealing a balloon. And then there's a girl and a boy. The whole bunch broke loose. In an instant, the wind whisked them all away. George, too. There he goes. He's flying away. Better come grab him. There's the monkey flying away with the balloons. There's the boy and the girl. And there's Mickey. And Mickey's really small. And if you look right here, there's a lion. The lion says, roar. And then there's a dog that goes, woof, woof. Up, up, he sailed higher and higher. The buildings looked like toys, and the people like dolls. George was frightened, but also very excited. He held on tight. Okay, and then here's George the monkey. He's flying. And then there's a horse. The horse says, neigh. And then there's a man in a car. The car says, vroom, vroom. And a dog. Dog says, woof, woof. Another dog says, woof, woof. When the wind quieted, down, down sailed George, then bump. He landed on top of a traffic light. Everyone marveled at the monkey with colorful balloons. When George looked down, to his surprise, he saw his friend, the man with the yellow hat. There he is, he's sticking his butt out. And there's the man in the yellow hat in his car. And there's a dog again. Dog says, woof, woof. And there's the boy and the girl and the horse that says, neigh. And then there's Curious George, the monkey, and he goes, ooh, ooh, ah, ah. George was very happy. The man was happy too. George slid down the post, and the man put him under his arm. Then they paid the balloon man. George and the man climbed into the car, and away they went. Vroom, vroom. And here's the man. The man's got a hat. And he's got George the monkey. Monkey goes, ah, ah. And there's Mickey. And then there's the girl. And the boy. And the balloon. And right here, we have the car. The car goes vroom. And they're speeding away. Look how fast they're going. For a day at the zoo. Now, if we look at the zoo animals, we've got elephants. What does an elephant say? We've got a giraffe. There's a tiger. What does a tiger say? A lion. What does a lion say? And then that's a flamingo. You've probably never seen a flamingo before. And there's a frog. Frog goes ribbit. And then there's a turtle. And that's the end of our book. I love you, and I will see you soon.